Hello students, my name is Kashyap and today we're going to be discussing about English for SSC CGL and competitive exams. My name is Kashyap. You know Kashmir. Kashmir is named after Kashyap Rishi and I'm also named after Kashyap Rishi. So that is where my name comes from. And I have a teaching experience of 3 years. I have 96 percentile in VARC in CAT and I have also given several exams like SSC CGL, SSC CHSL and railway exams. And today I'm just trying to teach you English, and we are going to step into the basic introduction, why we are learning, what we are going to learn, what is the model, what is the pattern of the exam, where most people make mistakes. All these things we are going to see in today's class. All right. So, what is the importance of English language in India? There is a lot of debate going on right now in India. Which language is important? Maharashtra people say Marathi is important. Tamil Nadu people say Tamil is important. Hindi belt people say Hindi is important. Telugu people say we don't know what is important, right? So there is a lot of debate going on in India, and the solution is actually English language. It is not any native language or Hindi. It is actually English language. English language is a solution for entire India because of the British and because of our administration, because of our laws, which are mostly in English. So it is very important for us to learn English, and you can only learn English when you have a strong hold on your mother tongue. So your mother tongue is also very important. And just because Kashyap sir is saying English is the whole solution doesn't mean that your mother tongue is any less important. Your mother tongue, whichever it is, Marathi, Telugu, Hindi, or Tamil, whichever it is, your mother tongue is very important. Only when you have a good grip on your mother tongue, you can have a good grip on your English. Because whenever someone says something in another language, your brain immediately see one language comes in like this, your brain process it into your mother tongue, and then other in the same language the reply comes out, right? So in your language, in your brain, everything is thought in your mother tongue. Mother tongue is the language you think in, all right? So India has the second highest number of English speakers. Guess which country has the highest number of English speakers? You're right, it's the US. The US has the highest number of English speakers, even though they don't have more population than us. All the population there speaks English. So it has the highest number of English speakers. After the US, it is India. It is not the UK. It is not Australia. Okay, it is not Canada. It is India that has the second highest number of English speakers. Approximately 26.5 crore Indians can speak in English. So our population is 140 crores, and out of those 140 crores, 26.5 crores, that is more than 10%, almost 20% of our population can speak in English. English is the language of the law, it is the language of the governance, it is the language of the business, it is also the language of education in most cases, right? Today, most students want to study in English medium schools and English medium colleges, right? That is because English is the language of education today, because most of the education that is available in the world is has been translated to English so that it is accessible to everyone, right? So everybody learns in English because it's easier to learn in English because there is a lot of material available in English. And in India, English is the language of the law. All the laws are written in English first and then maybe translated to the native language. So most of the court proceedings, most of the government circulars, they will either be in English and Hindi or either be in English and native language. But English is compulsory, right? So English will be there along with the native language along with the Hindi, right? There is no national language of India, but there are official languages of India. And out of those official languages, English is not even an official language, it is a language of India. That is it, right? All government communication is done in either English or English and the native language. Only a strong grip on your mother tongue, as I said, only a strong grip on your mother tongue. Mother tongue is a language you think in. It is not the language which everyone speaks around you, which is the language you think in. For example, some people think in half Hindi, half English, right? So they don't have a proper grip on one mother tongue. So you need to have a proper grip on one mother tongue. For me, my mother tongue is Telugu. So whatever you say, in my mind, I think in Telugu and it translates into Telugu. But lately it has been Telugu and English, and I need to correct that, right? So what is the exam pattern for SSC CGL? Now, when I say SSC CGL, I'm not just speaking about SSC CGL exam. I'm also speaking about most government exams because most government exams have the same pattern for English. So there are 25 questions in tier 1 and there are 45 questions in tier 2. So out of the 25 questions, you'll get 50 marks. 50 marks for English, just for English in tier 1 and 135 marks for English in tier 2. All right. So let us see what is the syllabus overview of SSC CGL. So there is going to be vocabulary. There is going to be in vocabulary, there are going to be synonyms and antonyms, one word substitution, idioms and phrases, spelling test. You need to know the spellings, right? You need to know the language so well that whenever you see a word that is spelled wrong, you must immediately recognize that, okay, this word is spelled wrong. And sometimes they confuse you. They give you four options of the same word, which are spelled differently. But the first ever word which you think is right is the right answer. That is the trick with spellings. First ever word which you see think is right is the right answer. Usually, what people do is they overanalyze and they start doubting themselves and they'll put the wrong answer and they'll lose the marks. So you should choose the first ever that flashes in your mind when it comes to spellings. Homonyms and homophones. Homonyms and homophones are words which sound the same and have the same meaning, or which have different spellings but sound the same, right? Next, grammar. In grammar, you're going to have parts of speech, you're going to have tenses, you're going to have subject verb agreement, whether the subject and the verb are in agreement or not. It is tested. Articles, what are articles? We're going to see what are articles. Modals, modal verbs, we're going to see what are modal verbs. Active and passive voice, this is very important. You need to convert active voice into passive voice or passive voice into active voice. And sometimes they might ask you directly recognize which voice this is in, active voice or passive voice. So you need to be able to do that. Direct and indirect speech, this is also very important. You need to convert direct speech into indirect speech and indirect speech into direct speech, or recognize which speech a particular sentence is in. And sentence correction and improvement. This is where a lot of people lose their marks. Sentence correction and improvement. Okay. Next, comprehension. You will have reading comprehension passages. This is also very important because it is not as easy as you think. Many people think that, oh, there will be a passage and I'll just have to answer, and all the answers will be in the passage. But that is not the case because there will be closed test. Closed test is a test in which the passage will have blanks in between and they will give you options. Now you have to fill the passage with one of the options in the blank. So that is closed test. And if you choose the wrong option, you will lose marks. This is where most people lose marks in English because they choose the wrong option, because most options seem appropriate at the moment, but you need to have a very deep knowledge about grammar, about speeches, about the, and you need to be very alert about the passage that is given so that you can fit in the word that has been given to you. All right. Next, fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks is very similar to closed test, basically the same. Sentence completion. They will give you a sentence and you need to complete that sentence based on the passage that has been given to you. Next, error spotting and correction. This is also very important. People think that they might lose marks in grammar, but not directly through grammar. They lose marks through error spotting and correction. So you need to spot errors. Which sentence has an error, which word has an error, which phrase has an error, and what is the right correction to it. Not just spotting an error, you need to also know which is the correct correction to that error. And phrase or clause replacement. Sometimes we will ask you to replace this phrase or clause without changing the meaning. Without changing the meaning, you need to replace the phrase of the clause, and you'll have four options, and you need to choose one option. And sentence or para improvement. Okay, they will ask you to improve the sentence or para by using one of the options, and you need to improve that. All right. Next, sentence or paragraph. Sentence rearrangement or para jumbles. Right. Sometimes what happens is they will give you a sentence, but the sentence is all jumbled up, right? The verb is in the beginning of the sentence, the object is in the middle of the sentence, the subject is at the end of the sentence. So you need to decide where to put which word, and all these words or phrases will have numbers, and you need to rearrange them into a proper order. And the options will have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, like that. So you need to choose which order is the right order. All right. Next, para completion. Para completion. You need to complete the para using the options that has been given to you. All right. Next, topic wise and subject wise weightage table. So we're going to see the what is the weightage of each and every topic. And this is where we're going to end our session. After this, after seeing this table, make note of this table if possible. And that is the weightage. And you need to focus on which one has the most weightage, which one has the least weightage, and which is more difficult to you, which is less difficult to you. You need to make your decisions. So this is the table. Make a proper note of it. See, reading comprehension has 5 questions and it has 10 marks. Closed test has 5 questions, 10 marks. Error spotting, sentence correction, fill in the blanks, active passive voice, direct indirect speech, subject verb agreement, tenses of parts of speech, synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms means meanings, antonyms means opposites. That is one thing that we have been learning since childhood. Okay. And one word substitution, sentence rearrangement, phrase replacement or idioms and phrases, word formation and usage, miscellaneous, miscellaneous. So total 25 questions, and you will have 50 marks. Okay, now let me tell you why I'm teaching my classes only in English, because you can see most of the YouTube videos or Instagram videos or most of the coaching videos are in English. They are mainly focused on students who can't speak English. But I think our students all over India can speak English. They can understand English. If you speak slowly or if you speak in a way that the students can understand, they can understand English. I don't underestimate my students. That is why I am speaking in English. I am teaching in English. Okay. And my classes are for the whole India, not just for the students of Hindi belt. If you're from Northeast, you can listen to my classes. If you're from Jammu and Kashmir, if you're from Ladakh, if you're from South India, if you're from West India, that is Gujarat and all, wherever you're from, you can listen to my classes, because my classes will only be in English. Okay, mainly, not just mainly, will only be in English. Okay. And if my English is faster, you can give a comment that your English is faster, please slow down. And I can slow down like this. And if you want me to add an accent, I will also add an accent. All right. Indians do this thing and all foreigners are confused. Okay. So that is my class for today. So please do leave your comments. Please do like this video, and please do share it with your friends who might find it useful. And soon we are going to come up with our first chapter, that is nouns of parts of speech. All right. Thank you.